Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, there is a 5-year rule where you need to have some core benefits for 5 years at least to be able to first take them into retirement and to get the most out of them throughout your career. We're going to dive into how that actually works, what you should do to make sure you get the benefits that you want into retirement. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. So good to have you. My name is Dallin Hoswell, financial planner who serves federal employees every day, and I absolutely love it. So just a quick recap of what we're going to discuss. First, to keep your health insurance and life insurance into retirement, there's a 5-year rule, which we'll talk about how you can make sure you hit that 5-year rule, and to access your Roth TSP and not pay taxes on the earnings, there is another 5-year rule, which we're going to talk about that as well. Let's talk about your insurance first. In a nutshell, this is the rule. You got to be covered under your FEHB and or your life insurance for the 5 years before you retire to be able to keep your insurance. Now, there's another rule as well. You also have to have an immediate retirement on top of that. But even if you have an immediate retirement, if you don't meet the 5-year rule for FEHB, for your health insurance, you can't take it into retirement. You're not eligible. So let's talk about some of the weird situations. Well, what if your spouse is a federal employee and you've been on their health insurance for some time? Is that a problem? No, that's not a problem. As long as you're under a FEHB plan, whether it's your spouse's plan or your plan, or you switch back and forth, it doesn't matter. Well, what if I was on a Blue Cross plan, then I moved to a Kaiser plan? What about that? Well, not a problem, as long as, again, it's a FEHB plan. Even within the 5 years, if you make changes to which plan you're on, no problem. You just have to be under a FEHB plan for the 5 years before you retire. Okay? So let me give one more example. Let's say you retire here at this zone. Let's say this is a 2-year period right there. And let's say you had a gap in service right there of, let's say, 5 years. Okay? A 5-year gap. And then let's say you had 20 years over here. So 20 years of service, 5-year gap, 2 years, and then you retired. Is this person eligible? Assuming this is an immediate retirement, is this person eligible for their FEHB and or life insurance? The answer is they could be, as long as during these 2 years, and of course the 3 years here, they had their health insurance and life insurance. They don't count if you had a gap in service where you just weren't a Fed at all. They don't count that time against you when it comes to the 5-year rule for health insurance and for life insurance. The type of time that they will count against you, where you may lose your health insurance or life insurance, is if you are a federal employee and you opt out of FEHB. You opt out of FEHB. Now, there's actually one more exception to this rule, and it is TRICARE. TRICARE. If you are on TRICARE, then TRICARE will actually hit the 5-year rule for you, and you can actually keep FEHB still into retirement as long as you're on FEHB when you retire. Okay, so for example, let's say for the 4 years before retirement, or let's say 5 years before retirement you had TRICARE, but right before retirement you jumped on an FEHB plan. Under that situation, you would be eligible for FEHB into retirement. The only situation really where you're not eligible for FEHB is when you are a Fed and you're not on FEHB and you're not on TRICARE either during the last 5 years of your career. That's when you're in trouble. Okay, and again, the same rules apply to both FEGLI and your health insurance. So you want to make sure you hit that 5-year rule to keep those into retirement. But again, there's one more 5-year rule, and it has to do with a completely different benefit. It's your Roth TSP. Well, did you know that to actually get tax-free money from a Roth TSP, you have to hit a 5-year rule? And this is how it works. The Roth TSP, as many of you know, I've got whole videos, by the way, on traditional versus Roth TSP. You can check those out. The huge benefit of Roth TSP is you put the money in and you get no tax deductions. But as long as you follow the rules, you can take the money out tax-free, which is fantastic. But here are the rules. You've got to have the account open and funded for at least 5 years. Open and funded for at least 5 years. And be over 59 and a half. Okay? So 5 years and be over 59 and a half to take the earnings out tax-free. Again, be over 59 and a half and have had the account open for 5 years. So let me give you an example of what can trigger the 5-year rule. If you one day put $50 into your Roth TSP and then never put a dime into it again and waited 5 years, you hit the 5-year rule. Congratulations. All you have to do is put some money into the Roth TSP to start that 5-year clock. So even if you don't really know if you want to use the Roth TSP or not, maybe stick a little bit of money in there so you can get that 5-year clock going and then out of the way. Once you've hit the 5-year clock, and this doesn't have to be the 5 years before retirement. It just has to be open for at least 5 years in general. If 15 years ago you started the Roth TSP but you haven't put into it in years, no problem, you're good to go. Again, the account has to be at least open and funded for at least 5 years, and you have to be at least 59 and a half to access and take withdrawals out of the Roth TSP and have your earnings come out tax-free. So those are the 5-year rules to keep your health insurance, to get tax-free withdrawals from the Roth TSP. I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, put in the comments. There's tons of helpful people in the community that jump in and help out, and I appreciate you all. I'll see you guys in the next video.